Okay, take 7 on this video. Now, I'm going to open this with, I am pro-vaccines. Don't bother making a comment about being an anti-vaxxer and how horrible they are. If somebody does make that comment, please do not respond negatively. Because the point of this is respect. My medical history is when I was 6 months old, I had scarlet fever. This is a bacterial infection, not a viral infection. But it has caused me lifelong side effects. I am pro-vax. My son's, the father of my children, my ex-husband, is pro-vax. With that stated, we do not take the flu vaccine, nor will we take COVID. So the whole point of this is I was scrolling and I found an article on Facebook about how everybody is bashing this woman who asked for prayer on Twitter for her daughter who was vaccinated without permission by the father. And everybody under the sun is bashing this woman. I offer my prayer. I am pro-vax. I will say this 100 damn times. I feel that anti-vaxxers have the right to feel the way they do, but I don't agree with them. I'm not going to bash them. I know several people that I respect dearly for one reason or another who are anti-vax. I don't agree with the statement that a child is ever damaged by vaccines. So vax damaged is a term they use. I would never call my child damaged. Injured. But, it's things like that, they get me. Anti-vaxxers really, it upsets me. I digress. So all this woman did was ask for prayer. She was very upset. Now, if me and my husband had a disagreement about things, I would definitely want to make sure that in this case there was potentially a legal order put in place. So I posted, she's asking for prayer, I offer my prayer. You don't need to bash her. She's not doing anything legal about it. And I got one person who says, this is the best comment ever, which I hearted because it's wonderful. Another lady commented about how vaccines are bad. I simply commented, with my medical history, I will not argue the right and wrong of vaccines. You won't change my mind. All I'm saying is don't bash her for asking for prayer. Ask for prayer for anything. I ask you for your prayer to strengthen the relationship that me and Jason's father have during this time frame so that we can be healthy for our son. I ask for prayer that he grows as a person and leaves behind the street mentality. Just as long as he has that, he ain't getting, overnight visits or anything with the kid. As long as he can't focus on just being a dad. Okay. So with that stated, I had a friend. We don't talk anymore. We're not on Facebook or anything. Way back when we were in Madeira, and this was like when I first ever got introduced to anti-vaxxers. I knew there were people who didn't vax. I didn't know the reasons. And slight point, one of the people that I respect very much, she has an older child that when he was after whatever vaccines he got after his 1-year vaccine, is when he started exhibiting symptoms of ASD. This child is the older version of what you and I would consider ASD. Well, the people who are my age would consider ASD. My son, when I was a kid, wouldn't be ASD. He'd just be a troubled kid, and he wouldn't be helped. He would be labeled, and then he would end up being a bad kid. I know he has special needs. I've always known he's had special needs. He's my special boy. But I don't believe it had anything to do with vaccines. So this child is off the wall, doesn't understand a lot, will regress, rocking, banging his head, things like that. When he's in an episode, cannot be touched. Not the I've never hugged my child level, but very, very, if the I can't hug my kid is down here, and we can't really tell is up here. He's that little boy is right about here. So it's he's still functioning, but not as well as other kids can. So anyways, I have a friend. Had a friend. Now I'm back on the story. Who she got with this guy, and this is a great type of relationship. Let's see where it goes. Let's not make any commitments. Monogamy is a must, but let's not make any commitments. We'll do what we do. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, they were both of the opinion that we shouldn't bring a child into this world the way it is. And they were both, all into adoption. Well, the relationship did not work out. She ended up getting pregnant. She didn't look after him for child support or anything like that. Didn't even bother him. He was not in the same place that she was. So anyhow, when the child was about 18 months old, he ran into her, did the math, found out that they were, that the kid was his, looked dead on like him anyways. And he took it to court for visitation. On one of the days that she was taking the kid to him, there was a Band-Aid because the kid had just had its vaccines, and he flipped out. He tried suing her for custody. The judge didn't agree. Nothing changed. But that's the kind of thing I would bitch about. But asking for prayer, I would not. One of my friend's grandchild is of a co-parent situation, and this child was vaccinated with the HPV vaccine. My friend's side of the parentage, her daughter and husband, who is the husband is the father of the baby, or the child, the teenager. The bio mom did not inform bio dad that she was giving this, send him a bill for it. That I don't agree with. If you're co-parenting, you need to discuss things like that. HPV is, I believe, a good vaccine, but it's not required by law to go to school, and it's not something that you need to... It's just a bump. I've never noticed that. It's not a hole. It's not... I've never noticed that. It's a bump. Oh, weird. It's not something you have to have. My kids will probably... My son will get it, but I will talk to his dad about this. Ironically, of all the things that Steve and I disagree about, COVID vaccine is not one of them. We absolutely 100% agree for different reasons that neither of us nor our child will get the COVID vaccine. For the exact same reason I do not get the flu vaccine, Jason will not get the COVID vaccine. Because by the time that is FDA approved and available to everybody, there still won't be enough testing on long-term results. I think I'm going to go never on that one. Because, I mean, and just like I saw a post about this the other day where it's like, well, if you took the COVID vaccine between this time and this time, you may be eligible for compensation. You know, that's the kind of thing I'm looking at. Steve thinks they're going to put a chip in you, and I'll do a whole video on the chip. But we both agree that Jason doesn't need to take it, and we're not going to take it. I mean, I just don't know. If they make it federal law that you have to take it, they're going to be putting a lot of anti-vaxxers in jail. A lot. I mean, California will have to open up all those closed prisons. There won't be enough jail cells for the anti-vaxxers. Because there are some that are very outspoken about it, and some that are just quiet. Oh, I homeschool my kid. Why? Because I don't vaccinate. Will you babysit? So yeah, I mean, if somebody asks for prayer, it doesn't matter why they're asking for prayer, what their stupid reason. Pray. Pray that their life is full of wonder and joy and amusement and happiness, and that whatever ailment that they feel they need prayed for is alleviated. I pray that the child involved in this, parents, get along. I pray that they are able to understand, and I pray that that they're able to come to an understanding about things. And I pray that she has a happy, wonderful life full of amazement and wonder. Please don't beat people up for beliefs like that.